Hey guys, it's Tallara and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. On our last episode, we helped out the Myconids by taking out the Dwegar down here. We didn't get a chance to really ask them what they were doing. All we know is that they're after some gnome that the Myconids are actually sheltering, which I thought was a good sign that they were probably in the right. And we came here and the Dwegar attacked us a lot. There's a lot of dead bodies here. There's an executed deep gnome. Trying to find some clues about what actually happened. And then obviously we can also get some loot. These Dwegar were not just killed, they were shattered. That is just a pile of flesh on the ground. That is honestly very disgusting. There's a letter here. A water-dampened letter imploring the recipient to be cautious around the far shore of the Eben Lake, as Dwegar are rumored to be prowling in the area. Well, it's a little too late for us to read that, but yeah. Why were they executing deep gnomes down here? That's a real question. Here's a journal. We threw a surprise party for Ironfoot. How that idiot made it past 150 is a mystery, but it's cause for celebration either way. When he saw the fire whiskey we'd been brewing, I swear he teared up. I'd only a cup of the stuff, but I can't feel my tongue anymore. The lunatic finished the barrel that night. I have no idea how he made it to his next shift, but Myrna claimed she needed him inside the wagon to guard inventory. The burrow warden didn't say a word when the snore started. Layabout is lucky, she's got a soft touch. I'd best get some sleep. Orders just came in for practice shovels and pickaxes for the younglings, and I've yet to harvest the Zerkwood. Where does the time go? So I guess they were a bunch of miners down here. The question is, were the Dwegar the miners? Were the deep gnomes the miners? I have a feeling that the Dwegar were the miners, and they were using the gnomes as slaves to do their bidding. Perhaps there was some sort of slave rebellion? The Myconids helped out the gnomes, and then the Dwegar retaliated? Here's a blood-smeared logbook, a ledger detailing the appearance and quality of numerous gemstones that had been mined from rock. Weight, color, clarity, and more are noted next to a sketch of each stone. An underlined entry for a sizable ruby is written in shaky, excited quill strokes. A sizable ruby? I need to keep an eye out for that.
Something over there.
Something over where? Oh, over here. Good eye. A well-stitched satchel. With some elixirs and gold inside. Don't mind if I do. Okay, there is a waypoint here, which is nice. But yeah, that's my best guess, just sort of from the contextual clues that we've put together. So the Dwegar were running a mining operation that included using deep gnomes as slaves. Here's another spattered diary. A badly charred diary with property of Wolbrin written on the inside cover. In one of the few legible entries, the author wonders if he'll ever see his friend Barkus again, now that he's departed for the surface world. Alright, so it doesn't look like there's any more Dwegar hiding around here. I wasn't sure if we'd find any stragglers or anything. So I think what I'm going to do is just continue to investigate for any loot, and then we will head back to the Myconid colony to report in that the Dwegar are no longer a problem. But first, treasure! Alright, we made it back to Eben Lake Grotto, which is where the Myconids live. We'll go report into the Sovereign that the Dwegar are dead, and that he also doesn't need to fear an attack from another Sovereign, because we decided not to help him out. Lots to report in, and hopefully that will mean lots of rewards coming our way, right? Right? Oh, I never realized. Tula is here. This must be the gnome that they're sheltering.
Don't.
Her condition is familiar. Poison, derived from a wild weed common to the Underdark. She'll need an antidote soon, most likely held by the poisoner.
Who did this to you?
Dwegar slashed me.
Okay. Let's consider what we know of Dwegar poison lore. Nice. Considering success.
Like dwarves, Dwegar have innate resistance to poison, and thus no need for intricate brews. Though deadly if left untreated, the poison can be cured by the antidote or natural remedies.
Okay, how'd you end up here?
Myconids. Oh, took pity on me. Sound lads, especially since the Greys gave him hell for it.
Charitable bunch, these Myconids. And he's more so than Korga and her pet snake.
Truly. Okay, well, what if I give her an antidote? There you go. Feeling better?
Gods. Whatever that is, I needed it.
Happy to help.
Why are you helping me?
How could I pass by? You were in pain.
No arguments there. Felt like a hook horror was sorting through my guts. But that cure did the trick. Quick, sharp too. I thank you for your help, but I gotta get moving. Oh,
Be careful.
Carl's garters. Oh, I don't have time for this. My kin need me.
Take it easy and tell me what I can do.
Seems you're the helping kind. All right. I need you to rescue my kin. Not charity, mind. We can pay. We're Iron Hand Clan. Best artificers in Baldur's Gate. We were on an expedition down here when the Dwergar snatched us up.
Ah.
I got away, but not the others. The Greys have them digging out some old ruin across the lake.
Ah, okay. Now we're getting answers. What was this expedition your clan was on?
Just mining for materials. Nothing unusual. But our work pays well. Help my clan and we'll make it worth your while, I swear.
Seems like there's more to this, but alright. I'll free your people if I can.
Thank you. Only wish I could go with you. But here. I nabbed these boots from the Greys when I ran. I'll feel better knowing you're using them to kick some Dwergar ass. I'll mark where I made my escape, and wait here, I suppose. Not much choice, eh?
Okay, so we got some answers about what was going on with the Dwergar and the gnomes. The gnomes are actually from Baldur's Gate, and we're down here on a mining expedition. I have a feeling she left out the part about that giant ruby they found. We did make mention of that in the logbook. But at least we know where the rest of the Dwergar are holed up, and perhaps we can go save the rest of the gnomes. First, though, let's report in to Sovereign Spa.
It greets you with a harrowing elegy, cheerless as the new moon.
Cheer up, bro. The Dwergar are slain. The rot has been purged.
The music shifts, still melancholic, but now streaked with hope.
Do you hear? A new harmony. Serenity. I name you Peace Bringer.
Fragrant spores waft through the air. Your heart swells with bliss with your every breath.
Freely you have given to us. Freely you may take. The Guardian Gate is open. Go and claim your reward. But before this, I have another boon to ask of you. You have cut out the Dwergar blight, but not its source.
In your mind's eye, Spore shows you a drow, striding among Myconid dead.
Near. This one is called. He hunted us. Hunt him in turn. Bring me his head, and I will know my circle is safe.
This near sounds like bad news. Guess we could lend a hand, right?
Yeah, seems like lots of people, aka the gnomes and the Myconids, want us to take down the Dwergar, so may as well. Consider it done. I'll bring Nir's head to you.
The drow lurks in the ruins beyond the lake. Bring him death.
I know he's a drow, but I assume the drow and the Dwergar are in league, although perhaps I shouldn't make that assumption. They are in the same spot, anyway. Now, I also need to tell you about the other sovereign that tried to betray you.
Peacebringer, be at home.
That's a nice name. I have slain the creature called Glut. It was scheming to slaughter your circle.
You are one with spore. Your throat tightens, then relaxes. The air is serene, your mind untroubled.
The songs we sing now carry your spirit. I first named you Peacebringer. I now name you Kin Spirit.
Whoa, 2 names in one day? Holy moly, go us. We're famous now. Okay, and now we need to go see what this reward is. He showed us the image of where it would be in my mind, but I guess we're gonna have to try to find it in the real world. Where are the vines that hide your good loot? Ah, here we are. These vines have parted, and who is dead in here? Pale corpse. He has a book called Flump for Mating Rituals? What is that?
The cover proudly announces this book to be Flump Mating Rituals.
What are flumps? Let's browse its contents.
Mad supposition, questionable diagrams, and many gleeful references to tentacles.
Ew.
Not an overly academic text.
Okay, well, let's examine the book closely.
The scrutiny proves too much. The lurid text melts away before your eyes. An illusion.
Ooh.
What remains are simple instructions written in a spare hand. The secret to forging adamantine.
Double ooh. That should come in handy. Don't mind if we do. The page is apparently copied from a master tome, described the construction and use of a grand forge in the Underdark. Among the Sharons dwelled the gnome Silov Yali, whose talents for wizardry were known from Candlekeep to Sorcerer. Under his tutelage, the Sharons built the Great Forge, which could heat mithril with such vigor as to turn it to adamantine. With this astonishing metal, they could mold the finest blades and armor. Yet the jewel of Yali's eye was not the forge itself, but the protector he conjured from the magma to guard it, a construct said to be so mighty that no blade could fell it and no spell could pierce it. Instructions for operating the Great Forge are listed underneath. Ingredients, raw mithril ore, and a proper mold. Place the ore and mold into their respective chambers. Pull the lever to lower the hammer and prepare the ore for smelting. Open the valve to allow lava into the crucible and drop the hammer again to forge the product.
An adamantine forge. The stuff of legends.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Okay, we are definitely gonna need to try to find that forge. Turns out we got some good loot for helping the Myconids after all. There's more stuff over here. What is this? Shadow of Menzo Baranzan. It's a helm, I think. There's also a scroll of Ray of Sickness, and a scroll of Blindness. There's a rotten tomato, we'll leave that where it is. Alright. Well, now we've got another thing to look for here in the Underdark. A mythical forge. Alright guys, so I just took a minute to look at the map, and this quest objective right here, it leads to 3 different things. Save the Grimforge gnomes, deliver Nir's head, and find the Sharon Temple, which is where the Night Song is. It appears all of these things are over in these ancient ruins that we can access by boat from that abandoned village. So I think that's going to be our next destination. There's other stuff we can explore in the Underdark as well, and I'm sure we'll stumble across as we make our way there. But that is going to be our ultimate objective. Before we head any further through the Underdark, I think it is time for us to take a little rest. Lots of fighting has happened, and I feel like we probably have lots to talk to our companions about. Karlak's doing some good stretching over here. How's it going?
Hey, soldier.
Hey. You know, in your expert opinion, what's the best way to kill a devil? Hope that's not insensitive of me to ask.
Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I love how into that conversation she got. She was jazzed to tell me all about devil killing methods. You know, I have no memories of where I came from, of who I really am. Do you think this is part of the ceramorphosis?
I don't think so. At least, I still remember everything. In more detail than I wish. But, as for what's going on in your mind, maybe in mine, I'm certain there are answers out there. We'll find them together.
You know, seeing as we're on the topic, I seem to be drawn to violence, to blood, obsessions that could become compulsions.
Well, look. You've said it, right out loud. That takes guts. The guts you'll need to change. Or at least make sure you're channeled in the right direction. I've got enough enemies who could do with a good bloodletting, you know?
Fair enough. I love Karlach's optimism. She's such a positive personality to have in the team, you know what I mean? Let's check in with the Asterion. I feel like we haven't talked to him in a while.
Oh, I really thought Shadowheart and Lae'zel might fight to the death over that artifact. A pity. It would have made for a fine night's entertainment.
Well, you know, how does someone become a vampire exactly?
It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free. And a true vampire.
So they bite you and you bite them.
Yes and no. The problem is, once you're a vampire spawn, they completely control you. They have to allow you to bite them. And why would they do that? Vampires are power-hungry creatures. They won't lose a servant to create a competitor. Trust me, it doesn't happen.
Okay. Well, good to know. Good to have knowledge of how to create a vampire in my back pocket. What's going on here, Shadowheart? Are you praying?
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something?
I want to get to know you more, Shadowheart.
You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask?
I mean, tell me something about yourself besides Shar and besides the tadpoles.
What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced?
Yeah.
Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant?
It is, actually. That's exactly it. Anything else you'd care to share?
No. I can't. Quite literally, I mean. With my memories suppressed, I can't betray Shar's secrets. But I can't remember much of myself, either. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shar's mission, then my memories will be restored.
Guess I'm not the only one here with amnesia. You've had your memories suppressed? That seems extreme.
Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shar will reward me when I succeed.
If you say so. Alright. Everyone over here's doing good. Hi, Scratchy. What are you doing, Lae'zel?
Speak.
She's so friendly, isn't she? Oh yeah. You said you were going to share your bunk with Asterion. I forgot about that after the party. Did that happen?
So I did, and he served his use.
Ooh.
Most enthusiastically, I might add.
Spicy.
I may even avail myself of his talents again, should he keep his fangs off my flesh.
Okay. Lae'zel and Asterion getting it on. You know, these dreams linger in my memory. Do you think that strange figure is going to come back?
It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasite served a Geich elder. but I believe they serve a greater master still.
Interesting. A greater master? Who or what could that be?
A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others.
Okay, good to know. I love just chatting with our companions. Each one is so unique and they always have so much to say.
You wish to speak?
You're still faring well at camp, I hope.
With such stimulating company? Never better.
Stop flirting with me, Halson. I'm gonna blush. Look, I need to tell you something. I think I might be sick beyond the tadpole. I'm getting worried.
Everything in your mind has been destroyed from what I gathered. And from the path I see you on, you are doing well at picking up the pieces. I am here to be your ear as you bear your burdens, and the arms that protect you if you can shoulder them no more.
Halson!
I believe you when you tell me that your symptoms do not wholly align with the makings of the parasite.
The arms to hold me?
Until we remove it,
Grandma Gladys is getting hot flashes.
the rest of your troubles.
Okay. You're right. I'll try to keep it together.
Good lass. You're tougher than Blackwood.
I don't know what that is, but I'll take it as a compliment. Thank you, Halson. I do feel a little better. Are you doing well?
Well met.
Well met indeed. Nothing to talk about with you? What about you?
How can I help?
You know, I never realized it was so easy to cast magic like we did the other night.
I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong. You did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mistra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Yet it is life's most worthy pursuit in my impartial, if not humble opinion.
Well, you know, I was wondering about that mighty lord you told me about in your story.
Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistril, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel. And with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistril sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistril, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly.
Wow. So, at that moment in time, all magic was gone?
For a spell, Mistril was reborn as Mistra. Upon her return, the weave returned with her. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go.
Gotta be honest, didn't realize I was signing up for such a story there when I asked that question, but, okay. You know, if you ever feel the Netherese magic overtaking you, what are you gonna do?
If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone.
Right, I think he mentioned that before.
You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
I mean, hey, you're a ticking time bomb literally. I'm a ticking time bomb in a different way. You might blow up at any time. I might murder someone at any time, so I really can't be a judge around here. Speaking of, perhaps this is a good segue. I have violent thoughts, depraved thoughts. Ones that refuse to go away.
We all have those from time to time.
Do we?
I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bought the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's a first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about. So long as they remain fantasies.
Yep, they've definitely just remained fantasies, never acted on them once. Changing topics, what do you make of having a vampire in our camp?
I know what it is to hunger. And I know what it takes to keep that hunger under control. He's done that so far, despite his condition. So long as he sates his appetite elsewhere, I'm happy to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, we're agreed on that point. Well, thank you for the conversation. There you go, we checked in with everyone, had some really good conversations with our companions, and when we return next day, we will continue to explore the Underdark, eventually making our way to the ship that is going to bring us to the ruins on the other side of the lake, where a lot of things await us. For now, Gladys and her spores and her sexy outfit is going to get some rest, and I'll see you guys back here again soon for another episode of Baldur's Gate 3. Thanks everyone so much for watching.